There is an interesting term in here, and it helps me to play off of what I talked about last week when I talked about this idea of the early heresy of Gnosticism. And again, in Gnosticism is this idea of dualism, okay? And what dualism is exactly what we see in our society today. We always have these two battling forces. We have good, we have evil, we have truth, and we have lies, we have life, and we have death. This is the essence of the earliest, of one of the earliest heresies that we had in the church, to view our faith in this Gnostic manner, that these are two battling forces, all right? And so here, in the verse we have today, okay, it talks about an ancient prophecy in the Old Testament coming from Isaiah, and it says, "Ketis kathimenis en chora keskia thanatu." And so he is predicting, Isaiah is predicting for those that are in, literally seated in, now this country, chora, and in skia thanatu, in the shadow of death. So we have that famous psalm, right? Though I walk in the valley of the shadow of death. So the shadow of death has this very, very Jewish identity to it, all right? And in that, the Jews now saw that the oppressors, the Assyrians and the Persians, all of those, were those that were forcing them to live in this shadow of death. But this is not what Christianity is, because Christianity sees all of the Old Testament as a prefigurement of Jesus Christ. So when they talk about those people that are seated in the shadow of death, what they are talking about now in Christian terms is what St. John said in his gospel, is those who sat in darkness in the world. So he refers to cosmo as this world that is seated in darkness. All right, so I'm bringing that up. Why? Is because what that has forced us into is not understanding how to get out of the Gnostic idea of what is Christianity and to enter into truly what Christianity is. So, and I got them written down here so that I can express them a little bit clearer. All right. So St. John tells us what? He tells us that in the beginning, that Jesus as what? He expresses the idea of logos, and he takes this Hellenistic philosophical idea of a logos, and he gives it now new meaning in the person of Jesus Christ as God. And that this word now is what created. It is the act of creation. God the Father wills it, and Jesus Christ as the living word, the breath. Now, I always say breath. Let me not say that. But the word now creates. And at the same time, this is the light now that comes into the world. Right? Let there be light. All right? So Jesus Christ now is not only the Word, the living Word, but He is also now the light. Okay? So now we can't have the idea of darkness if we don't understand what light is. So now, if we know that Jesus Christ is, who says, the way, the life, the truth, now we have a definition of darkness. Darkness now is, one, to fail to understand that you are a creation of God, which leads you into, I am God. I am self-sovereign. I make my own destiny. I decide what is right and what is wrong. And I turn away from the true God because I have made my own God. I am God. And now comes the problem, is because once I become God, then I decide morality and ethics because I exist in darkness. I have turned away from God. Now again, I'm talking about the Christian ideal. I'm not talking about an American principle or a Russian principle or a Yugoslavian principle or whatever. I'm talking about a Christian principle, is that once you are God and you decide what is moral, then Christianity considers you to be in darkness because you have turned yourself away. And now we have the difference between falsehood, lies, and truth. Because now in this falsehood, I can decide what is moral and what is ethical. Because I am self-determined. I make the decisions about what is right and what is wrong. And this leads us into many decisions that the world has made that we don't agree with. We, I'm saying Christians. And this puts us in tension with the world. Because what we're saying is you cannot self-determine morality and ethics. Now, whether you like that or not, if you are a Christian, then you have to believe that. You cannot be like Pontius Pilate and say, what is truth? I mean, really, what is truth? Truth is, then we have people that say, you know what? You're right. Or, you know what? Let's agree to disagree. That is now foolishness in Christianity. If you know what the truth is, the living truth, then that's what you abide by. And that's what you have to stay firm to. Now, that doesn't mean that we can't make social and ethical decisions and guide ourselves. Guide ourselves through what Jesus Christ and what we have been taught. Yes, we obviously can. But we cannot let the truth of Jesus Christ be something that is thought of as something that is taught. We are taught truth by Jesus. This is folly. Jesus Christ is the truth. This is why the Jews persecuted him, because he said, I am the truth. I am your law. I am the Torah. And they said, oh, no. We know what the truth is. It's written right there. You want to know what truth is? Here's the rule. Rule 1, rule 2, rule 3. Jesus says, no. I am the truth. I am the living truth. And that's what we fail to understand, is we think of truth as something to be learned and not as something to be experienced. That is the beauty of orthodoxy, that you experience the truth here. Physically, you take it in. You will receive communion. You are physically receiving the truth. This is not a learned truth. This is not something that is philosophical and you think about it and go, I now have the truth. You're not Plato or Socrates. You are the body of the living God. And once you understand that, then you understand the folly of Gnosticism. You understand that we are not a world that is battling good and evil. We're not a world that's battling lies and truth. We are the truth. Jesus Christ is the truth. And so with that, we already know that darkness has been defeated. We know that lies are Satan. So we know that. So there is no conflict here. The conflict is in us to understand that darkness for us means that we have turned ourselves away from God and have self-determined ourselves to then be God.